Hello and welcome back to Psychic Interactive. Now, I can feel it in my bones that this weekend's going to be quite good fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. I know it's only midweek, but let's start really kind of getting it together, so it's going to be a good one. Christmas is just around the corner, so lots of fun, hopefully, for everyone. If you're thinking, not for me, do not worry. There's loads of people that kind of do feel the same, and we're offering a great support network here. We're going to be here up till Christmas Eve, and we're back again, on the Monday, so no one's leaving you in the lurch. And also, our off-screen psychics are available throughout the Christmas period, so please jot the number down. It's just here, 0906 125 0100. Now, the wonderful Harry is over on the studio phone. Give him a call on 0906 125 7777. And what's on screen now is our website. That's www.psychic-tv.com. That's where you can see who's on today, who's working, and if probably your favourite psychics there. So if they are, have a look, get their PIN number, and then call that number, and that's how you get through. There's also the chat room. Get involved. Just check it out. If you've never checked it out before, it's really, really good fun. But I will leave that for you to discover. I know I got about it every day, so anyone that hasn't done it obviously doesn't believe in me, so just try it for yourself and you'll see I am telling the truth. Now, we're playing catch up from yesterday. If you want to send a text, it's TV, leave a space, send your message to 87777. And we have got Anonymous there. Why does the guy I'm in love with always mess me around? It's gone on for too long, but I cannot be with him and cannot say no to him. 13th of the 10th, 85.
Well, first of all, yes, you can say no to him. You just choose to not say no to him.
It's a tough one, though.
It is a tough one, but it really is down to you, isn't it? Yeah. That it's the same as with anything. When you sort of go, I can't resist just having that one last drink. Well, no, you can. And and that's a physical addiction.
Yeah,
whereas love is
definitely
not that
being
physical.
strong. Yeah, strong will, but it can be like an addiction. I really think being in love can be almost like an illness sometimes if it's not going well.
It is. It's very similar too. And what I picked cards for that maybe is not exactly what you want to know, but how he feels for you. And he has actually got very, very profound feelings for you, so it's going to make your decision so much harder. And he really, really wants for things to be cozy. He is slightly controlling and he can't help it. Some people are just like that. And at the end of the day, I think it's sometimes sweet to be with someone who's controlling, who's going to be sort of jealous over you. And sort of
to a certain point, but otherwise I've had jealous boyfriends. It's not a pleasant thing.
Not that joyous.
No.
But his feelings for you are true and strong, and he is actually loyal and faithful. So I feel that this is the information you need to know in order to move forward. Also, if you've been following the show, we've been explaining on and off about tarot cards, and there are some that are more sort of major than others. Mm-hmm. They're called the major cards, and there's not very many of them in the pack, and you've got 3 out of 3. So considering there's only 22 of them in a pack of 78 and you've got 3 out of 3, I think your relationship is more important than you're actually feeling at the moment. Obviously at the moment you're feeling a bit fragile and I'm not really sure, and coming up to Christmas and could I do better. I'm not saying you couldn't do better. I mean, it'd be an awful thing to say and it'll be absolutely untrue, but he is actually quite a genuine guy. His faults and his misdemeanors are a different thing, but he is actually quite a genuine guy. Make your own decision. I'm not going to tell you what I would do instead of you, but I think it's important for you to sort of listen to what I just said.
I do too, because it sounds like it's not as bad as you thought it was at all. So have a think about that one. Good luck, sweetheart. Let us know. We've got Smithy there.
Hi, yeah.
I am Sam. I'm 34 and I just got married and it's all bumpy. We always argue, will we get back together?
Right.
So you've just got married and now you're asking will you get back together. It is very rocky, sweetheart.
Will they or won't they? Well, you will get back together, but I really don't know how to say this.
Just
for
say
the
it.
First time. You'll get back together for all the wrong reasons. You'll get back together because you've already made the commitment, and you'll get back together because the house is already there. You'll not get back together because you're crazy about each other. In the long run, let me ask, will you be happy if you'd got back together or not? again, really don't know how to say it, and this is the hardest thing I've had to say since I started the show, so this is really saying something. In the long run, you'll be happy if you were to not get back together. And I mean, you've been married,
I
haven't
have.
you? And
I had a very rocky marriage, really did. And it's awful because it is, like we were just saying before, it's almost like an addiction. Especially when you've got this sort of commitment, because it is a sort of legally binding document, all these sort of pressures, you feel like, I've got to make it work, I've got to make it work. And, from the minute I actually accepted it was not going to work, there was nothing I could do to make this work. You go through a time of obviously being really sort of miserable, it's your marriage. But I did start thinking, well, there really isn't anything else I can do. You can't make someone do something they don't want to do. If you're arguing all the time, it's so draining as well. I mean, don't you feel sort of constantly tired? I just was exhausted, physically and mentally exhausted all the time, because it was just constant sort of battle of wits. And I just thought this isn't really what love should be like. It shouldn't be, in my eyes, it should be something that's really comfortable. Of course you argue, of course you have disagreements, but it's not a kind of war all the time and a one-upmanship. And it sounds like that's what you're going through there, which is... But, I would always suggest counselling. I tried it, and even so... it worked for me in the way that it gave me the strength, and I realised that my marriage wasn't going to work. So, they don't go there trying to make you stay together. That's the brilliant thing about counsellors. They get you to discuss it, and you really can see after a while, okay, this isn't going to work, but it just gives you a bit of confidence to kind of walk away from things if that's what you need to do. On the other hand, it can really give you the confidence to make things work and maybe break cycles that you're both in of, nagging and all this kind of one-upmanship that does go on between people. So I would say marriage guidance, counsellor, is a great idea if you're trying to save something.
Because even more than not being able to make someone do something they don't want to do, you can't make someone feel something that they can't feel anymore. No. And for you in your marriage, if you'd known quite early on in the first few months that it wasn't going to work, would it have saved a couple of painful years?
Definitely. I should have thought about mine a lot better. That's, we all do things.
Every situation is completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
and at the time, I still thought it was the right thing to do. Now, looking back on it, I think I probably should have looked before I leapt a little bit. But I was kind of caught up in the whole romance of it.
I hadn't been married before, so I don't feel qualified to counsel on it. But if you know now that in the long run you'd be happier out of it than in it, then maybe it's going to save you the couple of extra painful years that you could go through, isn't it?
For both of you as well. Obviously for both of you, it's, as they say, there's sort of your side, their side, and then the truth in the middle. And I really believe in that saying, because no one's perfect. I'm sure I wasn't exactly the most pleasant person to live with either.
I doubt that.
Well, I think I was more pleasant than him, but
there we are.
But really good luck. Please, log on to our website. There are helplines there. There may be something there that could help you as a first point of call. And also marriage guides, I think, definitely, because they really aren't there to encourage you to stay together. They're there to help you. Anonymous, hi. Is there any love on the cards for me?
Oh, that's simple. Is there or isn't there? Oh, not at the moment, because you're not really ready for it. It says that you're more of a summery person. In winter, you prefer to hibernate and sulk. So love is not going to come in when you hibernate and sulk. Certainly not over Christmas in the next 5 weeks. When the sun starts making a few guest appearances, you must remember it's only Monday night when the days are going to start getting longer. So we're going to get a little bit more sun, a little bit less of the seasonal affective disorder. We're coming up to you. We're coming up to the solstice. I love the solstice.
What date is it?
It's Sunday night, and I'm actually going to see the solstice dawn from the plane.
Oh my goodness!
The coolest thing for a pagan.
Yeah.
That is the coolest thing in the world. I'm going to be close to the sun when it comes back, and I won't be stuck in Stonehenge with the smellies.
Explain about the solstice.
The solstice, some people don't actually know what the word means. There's the solstices and the equinoxes. Solstice is the sun. It's actually Latin, for sol, sistere. Sol, the sun, sistere, stand still, So that's when the sun sort of stands still in the sky. And that's when the day is the shortest. And that is the winter solstice. So it feels as if the sun is standing there. Yesterday it was longer. Tomorrow will be longer as well. It's the shortest day. In the summer it's called the winter solstice, and that's when the sun stands up. And then on either side of it we've got the equinoxes, which is when light and dark are in perfect balance. So we've got the vernal equinox, don't need to remember that, it's the spring equinox, and then the autumn equinox, and they come approximately on the 21st of first of all, we've got March, 21st of March for spring, and that is a very, very special day because that's when we go into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, and we've got lots of cycles starting and nature reawakens. We've got summer solstice, which is when nature is at its highest, and that's when the harvest starts for those of you out in the countryside. And we've got, I mean, harvest doesn't have to be boring because we've got later on the barley harvest, what you make beer from, so see, that's exciting. And then you've got what we're coming up for winter solstice, winter standstill of the sun, and that's the shortest day, and that's where Christmas comes from. That's when the sort of the earth dies and everything is at its coldest, and then you sort of go up and watch the dawn because that means the new promise, and tomorrow will be a longer day, and the day after that will be a longer day, and for a whole 6 months, and that's the beautiful cycle. So
you've made that sound really exciting.
It is. There's 4 other holidays in the pagan calendar that most pagans love. The 4 other holidays because they're all the sort of sex and fertility ones. I was never bothered with them. I love the sun festivals because it's something that I was interested in since I was a little girl. That, you know, the longest day, the shortest day. It's just so amazing that it's been like this forever. For millions and millions of years, people had gone out to watch the solstice.
Well, it's true because most people are aware of this as well, whether they're sort of into psychic world. I've always been aware of summer and winter solstice. I've not really understood.
And because that's where Christmas comes from, and Christmas is lovely, it makes it all exciting. I mean, presents were there long before Christ. Decorating of the tree was there long before Christ. Christmas. There's actually an article on my website about the origins of Yule.
Okay, well, you can get that via our web here, can't you? It's linked in. So
yeah, exactly.
If you want to read more, then do log on www.psychic-tv.com. And then you
link to my site through there, and it's under articles, under Yule.
Okay, so I'm going to be looking at that later because I think that's fascinating. Now we're going to go to a break. Stay connected. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you then.
See you then.